gold pots, get candles. Gio go, gyal away you go. Gio go, gyal away you go. Sam and Garrett, Sam and Garrett,
Get gold pots,
Sam and Garrett,
get candles,
Sam and Garrett,
red candles,
Sam and Garrett.
red powder.
Gio go, gyal away you go. Gio go, gyal away you go.
Garrett,
Pop up ya,
Garrett,
get gold pots,
Garrett,
get candles,
Garrett,
red candles,
Garrett,
red powder. Gio go, gyal away you go. Gio go, gyal away you go. Sam and Garrett,
get microphone,
Sam and Garrett,
cut folders,
Sam and Garrett,
light candles,
Sam and Garrett,
bus holders,
Sam and Garrett.
fun front step,
Gio go, gyal away you go. Gio go, gyal away you go.
Garrett,
Gio go, gyal away you go. Gio go, gyal away you go. Sam and Garrett,
walk over,
Sam and Garrett,
get gold pots,
Sam and Garrett,
get candles,
Sam and Garrett,
red candles,
Sam and Garrett.
red powder.
Gio go, gyal away you go. Gio go, gyal away you go.
Garrett,
Pop up ya,
Garrett,
get gold pots,
Garrett,
get candles,
Garrett,
red candles,
Garrett,
red powder. Gio go, gyal away you go. Gio go, gyal away you go. Sam and Garrett,
get microphone,
Sam and Garrett,
cut folders,
Sam and Garrett,
light candles,
Sam and Garrett,
bus holders,
Sam and Garrett.
fun front step,
Gio go, gyal away you go. Gio go, gyal away you go.
Garrett,
Get white clothes,
Garrett,
cut folders,
Garrett,
light candles,
Garrett,
bus folders,
Garrett,
fun front step. Gio go, gyal away you go. Gio go, gyal away you go. Sam and Garrett. Gio go, gyal away you go. Gio go, gyal away you go. Sam and Garrett,
walk over,
Sam and Garrett,
get gold pots,
Sam and Garrett,
get candles,
Sam and Garrett,
red candles,
Sam and Garrett.
red powder.
Gio go, gyal away you go. Gio go, gyal away you go.
Garrett,
Pop up ya,
Garrett,
get gold pots,
Garrett,
get candles,
Garrett,
red candles,
Garrett,
red powder. Gio go, gyal away you go. Gio go, gyal away you go. Sam and Garrett,
get microphone,
Sam and Garrett,
cut folders,
Sam and Garrett,
light candles,
Sam and Garrett,
bus holders,
Sam and Garrett.
fun front step,
Gio go, gyal away you go. Gio go, gyal away you go.
Garrett,
Get white clothes,
Garrett,
cut folders,
Garrett,
light candles,
Garrett,
bus folders,
Garrett,
fun front step. Gio go, gyal away you go. Gio go, gyal away you go. Sam and Garrett.
Hello, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you, So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
If you are looking to have your statutory declaration, affidavit of income, identity, damage or lost passport, lost license, tenancy agreement, agreement of settlement, power of attorney, last will and testament, and certification of documents, then you need to visit the Alistair Collins firm, located at the Killian Mall, 162 Lamaha Street, in Georgetown, between Camp and Waterloo Street. Alistair Collins is a commissioner of oaths and a justice of the peace. Make certain you visit him or call for more information at 649-6410 or 685-6448 or 503-1451. And there's adequate parking available. Go down to the Alistair Collins firm and have all of your legal issues settled and brought to the fore. Alistair Collins Firm. Contact them at Alistair Collins Firm.
All right, hey, guess what? Good evening to all of you. We're going to get ready to start the show in just about 1 second. We're not giving any extra time. We are not concerned about how many viewers we have at this point in time. We know it will build up, and we'll just say it once. Share the link. We'll just say it once. Thank you so much. So let's get ready to rock and roll on 107.1 FM. Good evening to all of you. My name is Mark Benchop. On this beautiful day, it's Tuesday, the second day of August 2022. Time is flying, right? Just like our ancestors, 400 years of slavery just went by just like that. Just like that. And for many of you, it's just the other day you were little boys and girls. Now you're grown men, big grown hardback men and women. And you know what we say in Guyana, hardback doesn't necessarily should be interpreted in any derogatory term, but we at some point in time we'll get to hardback stage, right? Look at Sue. Sue is not at hardback stage. He's probably backstage. He's peeping. He's doing all manner of things, right? There goes Sue. I'm sure Sue probably was at a national park yesterday, dressed up in his dashiki, and you probably didn't recognize Sue. You know what I mean? Sue might have been talking to you. You never knew that it was Sue. Sue is going to come in all forms. Trust me. He's going to dress up Pago Day. You wouldn't know it's Sue. He's going to dress up Emancipation Day. You wouldn't know it's Sue. Who is Sue? We don't know where Sue is. Sue is gone, not into hiding. Sue has changed. So many personalities. Even one particular individual is looking for Sue. Well, so he claims that he's looking for Sue. We all know that he's not looking for Sue. He knows where Sue is. He knows what the game is. They're playing games. Sue is playing game as well. Sue knows that he's out of Guyana. You can't find Mr. Sue. Sorry about that. You cannot find Mr. Shu. Speaking of which, we just got a news coming in from Taiwan area where Nancy Pelosi, the House Speaker, bomb threats. Lots and lots of bomb threats. And you know the Chinese don't want top U.S. Government officials to visit Taiwan. They have serious issues with that. So I just got a little word there that there's bomb threats out there where Nancy Pelosi, Speaker Pelosi, she is staying. Okay, but let's get back to this ticking time bomb that we have in Guyana named Sue. Sue and Jack Dale. There's a love affair right there. And when I say love affair, I really do mean you know what? I should start all over again. There is a political love affair between Bara Jagdeo and this man. And now I don't want you to see my facial expression, but when I say love affair, I really do mean political love affair. So Jagdeo gives the impression that he's looking for Sue, when in fact he's not looking for Sue. Jagdeo wants us to believe that he cannot find Sue and that Sue has done something so wrong that he wants to get a hold of Sue so that he can prove that he, Jagdeo, is so innocent. But we know better. We know better because Jagdeo cannot say to us publicly that he's looking for Sue. They know where Sue is. And this whole Sue situation, it's just a game. They're trying to play a game. They're buying time so that this can disappear. The people are going to change their focus to something else, emancipation, maybe some juve, maybe some dancing up, some winding up, maybe something. But Sue isn't going away. Sue happens to be like, when you flush and something always pops back up. That is Sue and Jagdeo. Never go away. This is not going to go away. And I want Bara Jagdeo to know that this Sue situation is not going to go away until all of us get to the bottom of it. How do we get to the bottom of it? We don't get to the bottom of it by hearing this. Sue's whereabouts is unknown. We're not going to get to the bottom of it by reading some sort of propaganda that Jagdeo is looking for Sue. We're not going to get to the bottom of it if we hear and continue to see the propaganda that Jagdeo has Sue. And that Jagdeo said that he's looking for Sue so that he can evict Sue from his house. Now, look, here's what. We weren't born yesterday, and surely we didn't attend the University of Iflat. At least most of us didn't. Let me see, maybe one or two. Trench Crappos probably did, but we didn't, right? And so we cannot be fooled. We're not gullible. And so when Jagdeo says that he wants to evict Sue from that big property he has there in Pradoville, right next door to Bara Jagdeo, where Sue said that he's been paying a total of 1.2 million Guyana dollars per month. Some of you probably can't do the math. I don't have Christina's number, so I can't call Christina so that Christina can help me do the math. But I'll tell you guys, 1.2, I know, but Mark is talking about Christina, right? Okay. It's a little inside joke. Some of you may have gotten it already. It's a political joke, mind you, something that's innocuous. Slip up with Christina and her sisters. Anyways, so back to Sue. $1.7 million, $1.2 million is about just under $6,000 per month. And that's what Sue says. He pays Bara Jagdeo. Now, let's get to the technical and legal side of things. Jagdeo said that he wants to, or he's going to evict Sue when he finds Sue. Now, legally, that's impossible because Jagdeo nor anybody else cannot evict someone. It has to go through the court. Now, unless Jagdeo wants to hold on to Sue, grab him wherever, God in heaven knows, I'm not here to say wherever, but politically speaking, that is, grab him and toss him out. Now, that's illegal. And you have a man who sits there in one of the highest office, albeit under questionable circumstances, talking of an illegality. What is an illegality? When Jagdeo said he wants to kick Sue out. Now, if Jagdeo was so serious about evicting Sue from that property, taxpayers' monies, mind you, I'm certain taxpayers' money. Why? Because taxpayers are paying Jagdeo. Now, if Jagdeo was so serious about evicting Sue, then we should have been able to hear by now that there's a court proceeding against Mr. Sue. And now, under any normal circumstances in a democracy, you will have to provide real evidence as to why you want to evict someone. Now, you can't evict someone because you claim that they're lying on you. That is not probable cause. That is not sufficient reason to evict someone. Hence, Jagdeo is not telling the truth. Jagdeo doesn't really want to evict Sue. Jagdeo doesn't really, he's not interested in an investigation. It's all a facade. Jack Day can't pretend that he can't find Sue. So, hey, all of us know better that Jack Day has been straying from the truth for a very long time, especially with this new situation about the Sue, the whereabouts of Sue. Now, why am I sticking to Sue? I am sticking to Sue because the allegations leveled against Bharat Jagdeo by Sue is very, very serious. Sue has said that he paid Jagdeo bribe and corruption and all these manner of things. And so who is Jagdeo? Jagdeo sits there as the vice president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, and I'll repeat, albeit under questionable circumstances. And any such allegations leveled against a serious government official, that official needs to do the honorable thing and to resign from that position in order to facilitate an independent probe into those allegations. The fact that Jagdeo has refused to do that, despite we have read in the media that he is willing to have an investigation. To say that you're willing to do something and to actually make effort to get it done, they're two separate things. He can say what he thinks is a politically correct thing to say and to score cheap political points from a public relations propaganda standpoint. Jagdeo, if you are really interested in having a probe into the serious allegations leveled against you by Mr. Sue, then you should do the honorable thing and resign in order to facilitate an investigation. Now, after the conclusion of that investigation, if you are cleared, I have my doubts about that, just a little bird singing in my mind that I really do have some doubts about that. But if you are cleared, then go back in and sit in that illegal seat that you have been occupying for almost 3 years now. Go back. At some point in time, you will be removed, of course, through legal means, by the people, the ballot box. But back to Sue. In my opinion, running around pretending that you're looking for Sue, running around pretending that you want an investigation without any effort towards an investigation suggests to me that you have a heck of a lot to hide. And we will not be sleeping until this matter of Sue and the allegations of bribery and massive corruption is put to rest. We will not give up. Having said that, for those who probably forgot about the Sue situation, I'll spend just about 1 minute to remind you that the Sue situation is still live and we should not give up. I haven't been seeing much or reading much that the opposition is really interested or serious about going after Jagdeo and Sue. Maybe one day they make a statement and that's the end of it. They're on to something else. They're on to who bow, who didn't bow, who want to shake hands, and who don't want to shake hands. What a ridiculous point in time that our country is currently in. Sad on all fronts. We'll be right back.
Source.
Okay, well,
maybe the Chinese company that did not get the agreement that they wanted here, maybe they're the ones who told you, or it could be just a fictitious thing.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Sue Jerome?
Sue? Oh, Sue. My relationship? Nothing. He's a tenant in my place, yeah.
And he's a good friend of yours?
Yes, yes. He is a friend of ours. His father was here from many years ago.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he lives next door to you.
Yes.
You know, he was able to arrange meetings and catch-ups with you at any point in the day. He claims
as a friend, yeah.
He claims that through his very close relationship with you, that he's able to get any deal done.
Well, I don't know if that's
able to change laws for investors.
But then which law has been changed for any investor?
So Sue told us that if you want to get anything done in Guyana, you need some hookups. I'm very close with the Vice President and the other officials. The Vice President and I share a very close relationship. Also, if we do the business, he'll help out no matter what.
There's no one else who can help like he does. He also said when he's talking about
Yes, but help
prospect investors that
Yeah.
the Vice President said he can change the constitution. He said he can manage. Everything is going to be done soon. He's really treating us as brothers. He's already trying to help us as much as possible. Of course, I need to give back to him in return.
Yeah, but that is, I don't know about giving back, but I do that to everybody who comes to my office. The American companies come here to see me, and they need them.
I'm sure you do that to everybody. Notice that he said the American companies come because he knows exactly why he had to mention that the American companies come. The American companies may have gone there. I'm talking about legitimate American companies. I'm not talking about some of these overnight individuals who are part of this so-called Guyana America Chamber of Commerce and that crap. I'm not talking about them. And I'm not painting all of those who are members of that suspicious organization as corrupt, but there are quite a few of them that have lots and lots of question marks. But back to the Sioux situation. We want Jack Deere to know that it is not going to go away, and we are not going to rest until there is an independent investigations into the matter. So whilst we're dealing with serious matters, serious issues, serious everything, guess what? The man who claims to be the president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana hasn't a clue. He doesn't have a clue as to how he is governing that country. He doesn't know. And oftentimes, I think that there is more to it with this individual. There's more to it with this individual as it pertains to his sanity, his mental state of mind. And when you see this video, if you haven't seen it already, you'll understand the importance of why people should not take drugs.
The best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else. Say brown skin girl. Yes, you're just like pearl. The best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else. Say brown skin girl. Yes, you're just like pearl. The best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else. Say brown. Y'all look so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together once again. Make some noise. You ready? You ready? We're gonna bring it back one more time.
All right. It's not a good thing at all. It's not a good sign, because when you see these antics, you wonder this mental state of mind of this individual. The antics aren't real. They just aren't. Something is wrong somewhere, not just the utterances. We have heard him before. It doesn't add up. He doesn't do the math. His math is more kind of like a Christina kind of math. It doesn't add up. And it tells me, I wish I can play this skank song, Molly Pop, somebody bop. Molly seemed to be popping. And everywhere this individual goes, you just have to wonder whether Molly is with him.
Best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else. Say brown skin girl. You skin just like pearl. The best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else. Say brown skin girl. You skin just like pearl. The best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else.
All right.
All right, guys. Happy emancipation. Happy emancipation.
No, wait a minute. It's not over yet, because it's now kicking in. When the stuff get into your system, it kicks in and you have to react. And it's not over yet, people. I don't know what that is, but it doesn't add up, man. And that's one of the reasons why since a little kid, I promised myself that I'm going to stay away from all forms of drugs, all manner of drugs, everything. I don't pop no pills. I don't go up no hills. I don't got no chills. But something is wrong with that guy. I don't know whether he went to dance school at IFLAT University or wherever, but wherever he went to dance school, it doesn't add up. Who dances like that? To drums? You know, to drums? I mean, look, I have been in situations where I saw people catch antabanta and all sort of things. That is beyond antabanta. Beyond antabanta. That is some scanta banta, ranta banta, crumb banta, fraud banta, all manner banta. Let's go back to it again, man. Seriously. You know, this something again, I'm especially the last part, something, and I'm serious about it. Something isn't adding up. Whatever it is, somebody help me. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, but something isn't adding up with this guy. Seriously, he is on something. He's high on something. Either power drunk, I don't know. He's high on something. Whatever it is, he needs help. Serious help. I never trade you for anybody else. Brown skin girl, you sing just like pearl. The best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else.
All right.
All right, guys. Happy emancipation.
Happy emancipation.
Girl, you sing just like pearl. Best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else. That outfit should have just dropped off. I'm sure the hand stuff would have gotten smaller. I don't know. An embarrassment indeed. Now, this is a guy. Let's move on to other serious matters. This is a guy that is now complaining that a man in the United States of America. And now I want you guys to listen carefully. This is a guy that is complaining. He is complaining that a man in the United States of America doesn't want to meet with him. A man in the United States of America doesn't want to shake his hands. A man in the United States, just imagine he's back in Guyana now, and he's complaining that a man doesn't want to meet with him. That man happens to be Congressman Hakeem Jeffries. All because Hakeem Jeffries, and I agree with the congressman 100%, there's no reason that anyone should meet with Irfan Ali. There's no reasoning, absolutely none whatsoever. None whatsoever to meet with Irfan Ali. Irfan Ali is not important. Irfan Ali is not the kind of person that anybody should be meeting at this point in time. And so Congressman Hakeem Jeffries did the right thing. Why should you meet with someone like Irfan Ali, who is a hypocrite? What he does in Guyana is contrary to anything that people can even interpret of equality. Political fairness. It doesn't exist in Guyana. So why does Irfan Ali, feel that it is okay that he can basically swore people outside of Guyana into thinking, just like how he swore Maya Mockley and them, into thinking that he means good for all Guyanese? Hakeem Jeffries, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, is no dodo head. I believe he attended Harvard University. And I want Irfan Ali to hear this and his support base, that the guy Congressman Hakeem Jeffries attended Harvard University, not IFLAT. And so many of us embrace and we support what Hakeem Jeffries did, his decision for not wanting to meet with Irfan Ali. But Irfan Ali couldn't take the kind of rejection from a man. He just couldn't take the rejection. He seems to have an obsession. He and Bara Jagdeo seem to have an obsession with Hakeem Jeffries. An obsession he has with Hakeem Jeffries. And God in heaven, look, we don't want to get involved with that obsession or whatever he and Jagdeo may have for Hakeem Jeffries. But we can read between the lines. We are big people. We are grown-ups. We know what is happening. Hakeem has been speaking the truth. And the truth is hurting both, and hurting them, I really do mean. The truth is hurting them. It's penetrating deep within them. And so they cannot resist anymore. And so that side of them is coming out. What justifiable reason Congressman Hakeem Jeffrey has in meeting with Irfan Ali? For what? A photograph? A handshake? And then you go back to Guyana, and even before you go back to Guyana, you spread, oh, you met with Hakeem Jeffries, Congressman Jeffries, and thinking that everything is hunky-dory, thinking that you could make people a bunch of pacos. But no, Hakeem Jeffries, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries is not up to that. You can't make him a pacu. You can't make the other congressmen and congresswomen and senators pacus. You may be able to make a couple of them pacus until they get the truth about you and your administration, Irfan Ali. Discrimination, racially, economically, and otherwise. It is happening throughout the length and breadth of Guyana. And so when these respectable gentlemen, either in the Senate or Congress of the United States of America, refuse to meet with you, it's on the grounds, Irfan Ali, that you are not fit for the position you are in. You're causing serious problems in Guyana, serious racial problems. You and your cabal, you guys are the ones that are causing the problems and the division in the country. I just thought that I remind you guys about, and remind Irfan Ali about that. So, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, congratulations to you, sir, and to the other members of Congress and Senate who have refused to meet with Irfan Ali. But let's stick with that for a minute. There are others who refuse to meet with Irfan Ali and his gang, including that guy, that former guy, Jagdeo, right? That former guy. There are others who refuse to meet with Irfan. But Irfan is not going to say Congressman X, Y, or Z, or Congresswoman X, Y, and Z have been invited for a luncheon and they didn't turn up. Most of the congressional members didn't turn up. But because of this fixation that they have, this sort of obsession that they have with Hakeem Jeffries, good-looking guy, educated, he's a powerful guy in Washington. And because of all of that, there's something that Hakeem is doing that is tickling Jagdeo and tickling Irfan Ali in a way that they just cannot control their emotions. That is what is happening. Now let's get back to Guyana. And for those of you who have just joined us, good evening and welcome to Straight Up. It's the second day of August 2022. Right after the celebrations at the National Park and other places in Guyana, as we celebrated 184th emancipation, being years of after we were, our ancestors and so forth, supposedly emancipated. Okay, so let's get back to Guyana now. Emancipation Day leading up to, we heard a lot of things, Africans and their contributions and so forth. But ask Irfan Ali, who dashed out in some outfit, God in heaven knows where he got it from, doesn't look much anything to be African. But yet he wants to dictate to people, to African people, African Guyanese, that their clothes. He's not going to go to any other function, be it Hindu or Muslim, or any other function to talk about people's clothing, their attire, their cultural attire. He's not going to do it, but yet he feels comfortable to go to an Emancipation Day celebration ceremony to talk about your clothing. Your clothing, it's more than your clothing. Well, the likes of Irfan Ali would like to think that African clothing and attire is not significant. Well, I beg to differ, but read between the lines. He wouldn't say that at a Hindu function, neither would he say that at a Muslim function, but he feels comfortable to go at an African function, especially on an Emancipation Day, to lecture to African people about their clothing and that it's more than clothing. Well, if it is more than clothing, then Irfan Ali, why not have policy that is fair across the board, where all Guyanese, irrespective of their ethnic persuasion or their religious persuasion or whatever, why not treat everyone equally? Especially our African brothers and sisters who are being discriminated against by your installed regime. Our African brothers and sisters who are being discriminated as a result of your racist policies, Irfan Ali. Look across the board. The evidence is there. You guys remember the first set of COVID-19 cash grants or cash handouts or whatever. Thousands of people got it. They walked by villages that were supposedly coalition support based. They walked by villages because of people's ethnic persuasions. Ignore them. Didn't give them anything. The facts are there. The evidence is there. This is not a show where we talk about propaganda. We don't believe in propaganda. On 107.1 FM, we speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And so that is the beginning of the evidence we saw with the cash grants and the distribution during the COVID-19 pandemic. Cash grant distribution. Today, August 2nd, 2022, a year plus after, remember something that you guys give mainly to persons of African descent? And I'm not apologizing for specifically pointing this out and mentioning the fact that African Guyanese have been discriminated and continue to be discriminated under Irfan Ali's installed regime. Now, lots of African Guyanese were given something that is called, and we're in the color coding here, right? Something that is called pink slip. So what they did to those people, thousands of people, because they didn't want to give them any money, for the most part as a result of their ethnicity, and then for a minor percentage of that as a result of, for example, if they ran into an Indian brother or a Chinese brother or sister out there in Guyana, and they know for certain that that person is a supporter of the opposition, they still give them a pink slip. But the bulk of people that got that pink slip are persons of African descent. To date, absolutely nothing. They promised to return, they never returned to the people. In other words, they swore the people. Racial discrimination right there in that particular cash grant handout. And that is why folks like Congressman Hakeem Jeffries and others don't have an interest in meeting and sitting down and talking with Irfan Ali and his gang until they put their house in order in Guyana. Again, kudos to Congressman Jeffries and others. Now, that's just one example of the cash grant, racial discrimination, the flood relief grant, all these manner of things. Remember in Linden, remember in Ituni, in Kokwani. They never gave the people anything, just a little splash of crumbs, those who were lucky to get that. But the bulk of their support base, because of the level of corruption, they decided to flood with hundreds of millions of dollars while they ignore most African Guyanese. Now, is this the Guyana Irfan Ali is talking about, a one Guyana? I doubt that. They go into primarily African Guyanese communities with an attempt to destroy those communities, with an attempt to brainwash those communities. And sometimes they do that with some house slaves, some flatfoot hustlers within the midst, some of whom might be watching right now and might take umbrage to my description of them being flat hustlers and house slaves. But that's exactly what they are. Now, here's another example. Do you think that anyone in the housing authority would go into a predominantly Indian Indo-Guyanese community and destroy a property in the manner in which they quickly do it against our African brothers and sisters? Do you think so? I doubt that. We have never seen the evidence of that, but we have seen the evidence that they feel comfortable going into mainly African Guyanese communities and destroy it at every level. Here's an example. So we see all of these things. Every day we see it. It happens.
These people have no conscience. No conscience they don't have. None.
Good. All of that we're seeing. Again, let us look at how they send in the house slaves to deal with mainly African Guyanese communities, something we don't see in any other community.
The cause of nurses at Linden Hospital Complex. I give you my pledge to work tirelessly, night and day, to make the bonds between us stronger. If God is for us, who can be against us?
God for us, God for us to me.
That's exactly what happens. Just some examples, mind you, some examples. But then, like Severe Finale feel comfortable going into certain communities and insult certain African Guyanese leaders and even the people in those communities, knowing very well that their heart, Irfan's heart is not within those communities. His objective is not to do good, but rather to control and destroy. Here's an example.
Mr. Watts, he has armed himself shots. Shots, watch it, tear gas. Live rounds. Also, I can see that.
Just for Quindon!
The man is a boxer, man. Why can't put in a boxer, man, to do that?
But since my question there, no, you come on the East Coast.
You listen to me.
Right? No, you come on the East Coast.
You listen to me.
You gotta listen to me too, man.
I am listening to
Right? Now, I see you on the East Coast. The day when they get a protest of them, the next day, that's when you see one bigger heads come up to talk to my family. Right? And that's bad. If we didn't do a protest, you want to see nobody for justice. You see? I'm not holding back nothing. I'm not holding back nothing. I just need justice for my family.
I get visitors all of a sudden. All of a sudden, This is Joker. Who is that Joker? That piece of plum. They know who to deal with, you know.
This is the Joker who wants folks like Hakeem Jeffries, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, and others to respect him, to meet with him. He goes into Buxton, Irfan Ali, that is, goes into Buxton, disrespected the people in Buxton, and feel as though some old tractor that they promised them for some playground is sufficient. And look, we give them a tractor or to put some basketball court, and that is sufficient. You see the value he has, and his administration, folks in his administration have for villages like Buxton, Limlear, Kildone, and Manchester. And let's not even talk about Alness, a mixture of a lot of folks in Alness, a village that's very close to my heart indeed. But we heard from J.R. Crawford crying out for days. The deliberate move, obviously, it seems that way, that they went into Alness village and removed the street lights. And so for days and nights, the people of Alness village were without lights. All because of a mean and a vindictive regime. This is the guy, Irfan Ali, who wants to go out in Washington, D.C., sit and spread propaganda. Took a few photographs and feel that everything is hunky-dory and that all is well in Guyana, when in fact, all is not well at all. People are punishing. I agree, all Guyanese are punishing, but I'm specifically saying that there's a vendetta that Irfan Ali and his gang seem to have against persons of African descent. And it is their deliberate intention to ensure that they deprive those communities of any sort of economic value or situation that will empower those communities. Now, there are some who jump up on the stage and now they're trying to bond the people of African descent or coalition people with Irfan Ali. They're trying to bond the two together, knowing very well that it is just a hustle move. There's nothing of sincerity in that. There's nothing to bond the coalition folks with these rascals in the so-called government that they have there in Guyana. Nothing to bond the people at all. Absolutely nothing. So when people talk that sort of language to you, you've got to be careful with them. They don't have the country's interest at heart. They may tell you that they have the country's interest at heart. They may pretend, they may talk words that may want to sometimes confuse people into thinking that the bigger picture is Guyana. And we believe that this bigger picture is Guyana. And that is why all the political parties got to work together and come on board and work. No, it is a hostile kind of thing. I remember my small days in, what is it? Chick board, right? I remember my small days on a chick board. Them chick board guys would try to bring you to, look, it's here. They try to confuse you. They try to trick you. Now, they may allow you to win a little small something first, but they move in for the big kill. That is why I'm saying, be careful with those individuals who are coming to you and tell you that we got to form a bond and that the PPP means well and that Irfan Ali means well. To them, he may mean well because they are filling their pockets. They're getting their opportunities to get things. We see them every day. Some of them write all sorts of stupid things, but they're right. You know what I mean? They're right. And then some of us talk about bonding, the coalition and the people for the good of the nation and all these. Be careful. They're hustlers. And far from that, they're flat-foot hustlers. Now, let's take a quick break and have a toast so that we can do the real bonding right here on 107.1 FM. Now, I must apologize because this is really tough to look at. It's rough to look at. And it might cause some sort of psychological trauma either on you or your entire family that's watching, because it's having that sort of effect on me at this point in time. I don't know why I watch it, but maybe I watch it thinking that I'm looking at the honeymooners with Ralph, who oftentimes say bang, zoom, and all these man of things to Alice. Those of you who remember the honeymooners know what I'm talking about. It was funny as hell. And this guy is not just funny. This guy has an issue, serious mental issue. We go back to it again while we take a quick break.
The best thing in the world. I never change over anybody else. All right.
All right, guys. Happy emancipation.
Happy emancipation.
Whatever that was, whatever it is, I don't know. 50 minutes after 9 o'clock, my name is Mark Benshop on 107.1 FM. I want to say good evening to the folks out in the UK and thank those guys for the hospitality. Great people there in Britain. Lots of them, a few of them are watching this program, and good evening to all of you as well. What else can we talk about before we go? What else? We just have 10 minutes remaining. I want to spend that 10 minutes with you. You want to shake my hand? You want to do, you want to bow? Well, what is it you want to do? Because these things for me, they're irrelevant issues. We spend a lot of time talking about who we shake, who. Again, why is it that Irfan Ali has serious issues with men? He's obsessed with Jeffries, for obvious reasons, politically speaking, that is. Now he seems to be obsessed with Aubrey Norton. Well, I suggest if he's so obsessed with Aubrey, that Aubrey should be careful when he's taking a tux, as they would say in Guyana, at Bamba Mali. Because I'm sure that Irfan Ali might be peeping him too. Because Irfan Ali is also obsessed with the leader of the opposition, Aubrey Compton Norton. God in heaven knows what's the obsession about. That he's so fixated on wanting to hold Norton's hands. And Norton, by way of shaking it, mind you, and Norton might have sensed something. Because, you know, Norton sometimes could sense things whenever. But Norton doesn't want to shake his hands. And Irfan Ali is upset. He's emotional, all manner of things, begging for a handshake. Now, come on, man. If once I attempt to shake someone's hand and they don't want to hell with that person. But something is wrong with Irfan Ali. And maybe we understand why he attended the University of Iflat. Of course, we now understand why. Running around the place, begging for your hands to be shaken. Now, Irfan, let me give you a little piece of advice. It doesn't look good for you at all. It makes you look very, very infantile, immature, as we all know by now. Now, politics have changed. You destroy a country, you try to destroy a people, a group of people, economically and otherwise, but yet you feel comfortable walking into a support base and want people to embrace you, want people to shake your hands and so forth. And because people don't do it, you get buzzedy. But as Alison I. Hines said, it's not the hands that got some people buzzedy. It's not just Hakeem Jeffries that's getting Irfan and them buzzedy. Alison Hines was right. She was so perfectly right. Now, I saw some photograph of someone talking about Aubrey Norton bowing. Oh, come on. What man of journalism is that? You know, who is going to bow to someone like Irfan Ali? What worth does he have? What can one walk away with to bow to all person, Irfan Ali? You gotta be kidding me. And for his supporters who really think that that was a bowing, they don't know about bowing. But then again, maybe they do know about bowing. Maybe that's why Shabba Ranks made that song, Them Bow. And those of you, again, who knows what it is, you know what it is, Them Bow. I don't accept that as what Aubrey Norton did as any form of bowing. But for now, I want to give you guys a legitimate bow because you deserve it. As I prepare to exit the show this evening, let me remind you, and I see that someone is making a heck of a lot of sense here. Rosanna Tobin Kingston. Smallpox is around the world. COVID is rampant. But they're not paying any attention to that in Guyana. It doesn't concern Irfan Ali and them. So they want to walk around, shake hands, hold up hands, bow, whatever it is they want, and ignore the real situation in the country. We don't hear Irfan Ali or his so-called Minister of Health cautioning people about COVID-19 or monkeypox and so forth. We don't see that. We just don't see. They just don't care. Like Michael Jackson said, all the ones they don't really care about us, right? Jack J and Irfan, they don't care about the people in Guyana. Cost of living up. Every single thing up. Even smallpox. Oops. I didn't put these photographs up there at the same time while I talk about monkeypox because, anyways, Mark, I don't want people to accuse me of calling anybody monkeys because I don't. I don't describe people as such at all. But I just want you guys to know that from the political pox that we have, from a health concern, we've got to be careful with monkeypox. It is rampant, and maybe it is in Guyana. We don't know whether the real monkeypox, the disease I'm talking about, is in Guyana. We don't know. All right, so I just want to thank you all for tuning in this evening. I will be back tomorrow. Same place, same time. But don't forget we have the morning show right here on 107.1 FM. We have other shows. We have our DJ Killer Miller. We've had a little bit of hiccups in terms of airing his program, especially via the internet because of copyright laws and rules and regulations and so forth and so on. But for now, God bless you, and God bless our beautiful, beautiful country we call Guyana. Until we meet again tomorrow, same place, same time. So long.
Hello, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
bus bowling, fun front step, Geo go, gyal away you go, Geo go, gyal away you go, Sam and Garrett, Sam and Garrett. Geo go, gyal away you go, Geo go, gyal away you go, Sam and Garrett, Sam and Garrett,
Get cool pants,
Sam and Garrett,
get candles,
Sam and Garrett,
red candles,
Sam and Garrett.
red powder.
Geo go, gyal away you go, Geo go, gyal away you go,
Garrett,
pop up ya,
Garrett,
get gold pots,
Garrett,
get candles,
Garrett,
red candles,
Garrett,
red powder. Geo go, gyal away you go, Geo go, gyal away you go, Sam and Garrett,
get microphone,
Sam and Garrett,
front phone, next
Sam and Garrett,
light candles,
Sam and Garrett,
bus home, next
Sam and Garrett.
fun front step.
Geo go, gyal away you go, Geo go, gyal away you go,
Garrett,
get white balls,
Garrett,
bus bowling,
Garrett,
light candles,
Garrett,
bus bowling,
Garrett,
fun front step. Geo go, gyal away you go, Geo go, gyal away you go, Sam and Garrett, Sam and Garrett. Geo go, gyal away you go, Geo go, gyal away you go, Sam and Garrett,
walk home, yeah,
Sam and Garrett,
get cool pants,
Sam and Garrett,
get candles,
Sam and Garrett,
red candles,
Sam and Garrett.
red powder.
Geo go, gyal away you go, Geo go, gyal away you go,
Garrett,
pop up ya,
Garrett,
get gold pots,
Garrett,
get candles,
Garrett,
red candles,
Garrett,
red powder. Geo go, gyal away you go, Geo go, gyal away you go, Sam and Garrett,
get microphone,
Sam and Garrett,
front phone, next
Sam and Garrett,
light candles,
Sam and Garrett,
bus home, next
Sam and Garrett.
fun front step.
Geo go, gyal away you go, Geo go, gyal away you go,
Garrett,
get white balls,
Garrett,
bus bowling,
Garrett,
light candles,
Garrett,
bus bowling,
Garrett,
fun front step. Geo go,